Hi everybody, it's me Anza. So I turned 25 and one of my most common themes that I literally always have to talk about is the fact that I genuinely always feel behind in life. Like no matter what anybody says, no matter what circumstances people try to put me in or what kind of things they try to compare me to, it's like nothing in my mind will ever think that I am ahead in life in any way. I was talking to my friend the other day and we were talking about how in each other's point of view, we both look very put together. But the truth is that we are both dealing with the exact same struggle, and that when we're it together, we can talk about that struggle because are the only ones that know that. But if we were to talk about it with like other friends in our group and stuff, they would just call us lazy, they would call us stupid. But the thing that the kind of main thing that we came up with was that other people's expectations for us has really taken over our lives, and we haven't even been able to live for ourselves because we're constantly living so that the people around us don't decide to leave us. And we're like realizing like how stupid that is. It's like if I want to change, my change is going to come when I tell myself that I want to change, right? So when we're limiting ourselves to the expectations of others, what ends up happening is that my change is going to be hidden under things that the people around me don't even know about. Like, for example, my change can be hidden by addiction. So it's like people on the outside can see, oh, she's changing, she's working harder, she's like really making goals for herself and whatever. And it's just because I don't want to lose the other people in my life. So I'm putting forth all these expectations, just their expectations and their wants of what they want for change, taking them in as my own, and then being like, oh yeah, I'm changing, I'm doing great, guys. Meanwhile, I'm like fucking doing drugs, right? And I'm hiding like addictions to present myself as this like growth type of person, but meanwhile I have no idea who I am. And it's like I literally have no idea who I am. Like I've completely lost sense of everything that I am and everything that I've been before me. And I don't want to go back to those parts of myself that I've been before, and I don't want to go like into parts of myself that aren't me, like without integrating the two, because like if I don't integrate the two, I become two separate versions of myself, and I don't want that. I want to be able to like pull from old versions of myself and pull from new versions of myself and really just like build upon myself. Like anytime I hear somebody say like, oh, I don't want to be that person anymore, I don't want to be that person anymore, I'm like, well, who you're creating is definitely not going to be a version of you. It's just going to be this like new you. I need to be this person, but you will fall back into old traps, and that's normal because that is part of you. But the act of ignoring that you can fall into old traps and you can at one point become that other version of you is like literally the downfall, because the second that any part of that starts to creep in, instead of being like, oh, I'm healing, I'm getting better, I'm having a slip up, instead of it, it's just me like, that's all I'll ever be. Like I'm learning the act of like giving myself grace, because like I said, like if I'm just trying to become a completely different person and then I slip up, then obviously I'm gonna like hate myself because I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I never want to go back to that person, but now I'm full force going back into that person and whatever. Because it's like you cannot genuinely experience life through complete separate ends of a spectrum. And like how I talked about my BPD struggles, experiencing life through black and white thinking is literally killing me. Like it has made me hate and love and despise and become obsessive. Like there's no fucking middle ground for that. I think the middle ground is called like the window of tolerance, and with BPD, like I really do not experience a window of tolerance, and I want to be able to, like, in this new year of my life, to be able to experience, even if it's just like dipping my toes into a window of tolerance. That's what I want to feel, and like to be able to take accountability for how extreme things are. And also, I want to say one thing is, yes, I can take accountability for it, but that doesn't fucking diminish the fact that BPD and CPTSD and all of these things develop because of events that happen in your childhood. So you cannot fully place the blame on yourself. There is no sense in placing the entire blame of who you've become only on yourself. This is conditioning that happened to you since you were a child that made your brain this way. BPD develops because of neglect as a child, because of anger as a child, because of things that happened in our childhood or things that other people did to us that constantly kept piling us up until our brains literally changed the way that we view the world. The way that we view the world, the way that we interact with people, the way that we cannot develop trust with people. So to chalk it up to just being like, well, you are a person with a fucking disorder is really fucked up. 25 is the year that I want to start giving myself grace. It's the year that I want to start seeing even the littlest bit of good that I'm doing for myself and actually growing from it. Like, I have this new me thing. I'm actually going to make a separate video about this, but it's like this brainstorm of this new me that I want to transform into. But it doesn't take away the parts where I have to relax in bed because I'm sad, or I have to take time for myself to have rest days because I have PMDD. Because I used to make all of these plans for myself to be a new person, completely disregarding all of the mental health that I went through, completely disregarding how bad of episodes that I can get into. And then like leaving room for those things to come up and for me to start to self-sabotage again, because hating yourself and thinking, oh, see, I told myself I wouldn't be able to do it, is literally another form of self-sabotage. I want to try to cut as many corners around self-sabotage as I can to get better as a person, but I also don't want to let go of the parts of myself that have been, because I know that the second that I let go of that and I try to pretend that I'm not an emotional person, that I'm not an extremely sensitive person, that I won't self-sabotage. Like, once you start pretending that those parts of yourself don't exist, then once they come up, it's all that you can think about. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm never going to change because look what came to the surface. But if I can combine like all the things that I want to do and all the types of versions of myself that I want to be, and still give grace to the parts of myself that I know are obviously going to come up. Like, a healing journey doesn't necessarily mean, well, I have to become a complete different version of myself. There's parts of me that I don't really feel like have the ability to fully heal, like, for example, my PMDD. But if I can approach those moments without putting disgust towards them, and without thinking that those parts of me are disgusting and never going to be unlovable and stuff, and instead just approach it as, okay, I'm having my episode, let me go give myself some rest, let me go reflect on all the good things that I've been doing, then I'll feel a million times better. But if I'm constantly like looking at the expectations of the people around me and thinking about like, well, these people, well, they're going to think that I'm like this. They're going to think I'm behind. I'm 25. I'm living alone when everyone else has got their shit together. And I'm just here. And, people are going to leave me. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to get broken up with if I don't show my boyfriend in enough time that, like, I can grow. But it's been like, I've been trying to grow, but it's like through this fear of being left. And I'm trying to, like, separate myself from that fear of I'll lose people if I don't get my shit together, and instead I'm trying to reframe it as like, I'm going to lose myself if I don't get my shit together, and that will push people away. But the truth is that I have been pushing people away. I have been losing myself. I have been sabotaging myself and hiding things from people as a means of them thinking everything's okay, and I've only been getting worse. Like, my mental health has been at an all-time extremely low, and it's been that way for months, and it's been terrifying to watch myself sabotage myself on a daily basis, give into big things as my form of pleasure instead of little pleasures that can give me little joy. Like, it's always extremes to just be able to feel something, because I'm so used to pushing away the parts of myself that can just enjoy moments and accept things, because I'm constantly scared about the thought of being abandoned. I want to be able to experience life's pleasures without having to go to extremes to feel it. And that saying where it's like, you can't really love someone until you love yourself is true, because like, how am I supposed to give my love out to people when my form of self-love is sabotage? So then I'm going to start sabotaging everything around me and calling it love. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I really want to be able to use 25 as my year to really find myself and to really love myself, and to really be able to give the people around me the love that they deserve from me, and not the love that I try so hard to put out for them, that they feel love and I feel completely unloved. I want like my needs and wants to be balanced with their needs and wants. And then in reality, it's not love. It's like it's not fair to remove myself to be somebody else's peace and to feel so much war within myself. Um, to give somebody else a peace of mind, like, yeah, I'm working, but to be going to work and feeling so much war in myself, especially like with my autoimmune disorder and also for my neurodivergent brain, work was hell for me because I would constantly come home with flare-ups, and it's like, hey, but I got the paycheck, and it's like I want to be able to grow within myself and really find myself and who I am and what I love again, and not like present myself as, like, for example, I love making YouTube videos, I love talking videos. This is like my true love and my true passion is to talk about things. And I went to school and I was going for the social work program, and I'm going to be honest, I dropped it. I dropped out of that program. And I'm not going to feel mad at myself for it. I'm not going to make myself feel like shit for it. Because one thing about me that I do love about myself is that I always stay true to who I am, no matter what the people around me are trying to convince me is better. I always stay true to who I am. And I was in those 5 classes, and I was like, I am not going to be happy in this. Even though I thought that this would make me happy, I'm not going to be happy in this, and I'm not going to force myself into something that I know that in the long run will destroy me, because I already struggle really bad with mental health, and then to have to put again my mental health aside to make other people feel better, it's another form of self-sabotage. So I want to find what I like to do, what things make me happy, what things make me upset. Well, actually, the things that make me upset are like always at the forefront, and that has to do with the not loving yourself, because all you can focus on is like the parts that you hate, and hatred becomes like this huge thing in my life. Like I feel like I'm constantly surrounded by this fucking bubble of hatred, and it's like with little glimpses and little spaces where love can come through. Like there's a little bit of self-love there, there's love for a person there, but I want to be able to find that space where I can feel balanced within myself, that I don't have to neglect other people, that I don't have to neglect myself, and I can still be there for other people. I really want to find that balance for myself, and this is the year that I'm going to do it, and this is the year that I'm going to really focus on the new me. And I can't go into school just because I feel scared. Like it was literally, I was going because I was scared that I was going to be left, and I was like, but I know in my heart school's not a me thing, I'm not a school person. And it's like, but there's so many other things. Like I want to do YouTube forever. I love talking, and I love being able to be so vulnerable with people, and people message me and tell me how my vulnerability really helped them feel seen. Like that to me means like the absolute world to me. I hate how rushed and forced everything is at this age, and how we need to be able to have our lives figured out and stuff. Like I don't have my life figured out. I haven't had my life figured out for years because I was constantly trying to figure out how to keep other people in my life as a form of having my life figured out. And meanwhile, losing myself completely to every fucking social norm and everything around me. You know what I mean? Like there is so much love in my heart, and I have so much talent, and I have so much that I can be able to give and really like lock in and do my stuff, but I can't lock in when I've spent so much of my life hating myself and trying to heal and then self-sabotage, heal and self-sabotage. Like every other week is one or the other. I want to be able to like integrate all of it and just accept that who I am is a loving, self-sabotaging, healing, sometimes regressing person. I can be both simultaneously. Bitch, what's the word? I can be both, and I don't have to be angry at myself for not being exactly what is perfect for somebody else, for not being exactly the norm of my age group. I want to be happy that I am trying, and I want to be happy that I'm growing, and I want to be happy when I'm having my PMDD episodes. Like, it's okay, my body's reacting. Guess what? This is my crazy bitch week. Instead of being like, oh my god, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't say that because like once my PMDD week starts, then all hell breaks loose. But still, I want to be accepting of all these versions of me throughout every single part of my childhood and throughout every single part of my adulthood, and I want to just like integrate them all into this one person that I'm becoming. I have disorders that can really destroy a person and really affect somebody, but at the same time, like, I want to be the reason that I grow and still stand tall in these disorders and still talk about them. I'm constantly going to be bringing PMD to light. I'm constantly going to be bringing BPD to light. I'm constantly going to be bringing CPTSD to light. Even lichen sclerosis, I'm bringing that bitch to light, because more people need to talk about this, and more people need to understand how hard it is to struggle with these things, to struggle with things that developed because the people around you didn't know how to raise you. And that's the problem. It's not that, yes, of course I have myself to blame to be completely stuck into these cycles, but that doesn't mean that you can put the blame on the people that hurt you. Don't think that, okay, well, I should have gotten over it. It doesn't matter. Your brain chemistry changed. Your brain is stuck on fight or flight all the fucking time, or freeze. So don't fucking forget that there is blame to be put elsewhere, and that there is grace to be like felt for yourself. But there's so many beautiful things that I want to do, and I'm deciding to make that change for myself. And I think that this is the first time in my life that I feel like I'm actually going to do it, because I decided to make that change, and I'm not looking at all the other people or where they are in life. I'm going to look at myself and be like, let's grow every single fucking day. And I really want to do that for myself, and I really hope that I can inspire other people to do that for themselves as well. And of course, I'm going to be making crying videos. Of course, I'm going to be making videos where I'm just like, I can't do this, because that just comes with the disorder. But that doesn't mean that I haven't grown. This channel, I want it to literally be the human experience of somebody dealing with mental health issues. And that's what it is. It's going to be a complete, raw human experience of somebody that deals with it. And I'm not going to hide myself anymore. I'm not going to hide the good parts. I'm not going to hide the bad parts. I'm not going to hide the parts that I'm embarrassed of. I want everything to be so raw and real that people can feel heard, that people can feel seen, and that people can feel like they relate to this without feeling shame, because there's no shame in mental health. There's no shame in mental illness. There's no shame in changing from having a good day to a bad day. And I really just want to bring that to light, and I really want people to know that it's okay to literally have a shift all of the fucking time. Like, it's normal for people like us that have borderline, that have bipolar disorder, that have complex PTSD, that have PMDD. It's normal for us to constantly shift. So this is going to be the page where I'm going to be like, it's okay that this week is good and that week's bad. There's nothing, you do not have to see me become a fucking, like, my healing is never going to be linear. It's always going to be like that, because these disorders make me feel like that. So that's what this channel is going to be. And I really hope that other people who are struggling with these things find peace in my channel and find understanding. And we can, like, you can type in the comments things that you've understood and things that you want me to talk about, or that we can even have discussions with each other about and then make it into a video. Like, I want this channel to be the most raw and real experience of emotion and of being a human. This is what this channel is. I really hope that you guys love this video, and I really hope that you guys find this channel at a point in your lives where you're also in your 20s and you're like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Everybody around me it seems like they all got their shit together, and I feel like I'm so behind. And there's no fucking such thing as being behind, okay? Trust me when I say that. There's no such thing as being behind. And people always say that, like, oh, well, you got stuck at the age of 16. Your brain is stuck at that, and you have to grow up. And I have grown. I've grown so much, and I think I've experienced a lot more than a lot of people have experienced. And it's okay that I'm taking my life a different direction, and that I'm not grown up the way that other people think that they should be, or think that everyone else should be. So I really hope that the people that find this channel not only feel these things, but know that it's okay to not always have your shit together. You don't gotta have your shit together if you don't know what your shit is. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I will see you in the next one. Love you.